Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I want to talk to you about lengthening the bridge portion of your TriAd Bridge from H2 saddles. Now at the beginning of this year, Heath from H2, the owner of H2 Saddles, he brought to the market the TriAd Bridge. Now this was the first of its kind because it was a 3-component bridge system that allowed you to adjust the pressure on your hip loops via this continuous loop of am steel, but it also allowed you to attach the bridge portion and then lengthen and shorten your bridge. So I love it. I got several videos dedicated to the TriAd Bridge on my YouTube channel, and Heath kind of paved the way or pioneered the way, and there's been a lot of companies that's followed the TriAd Bridge in some type of form, especially by attaching Cruzr loops to your hip loop here. But the one thing that I disliked about the TriAd Bridge was every time I hunted in it or was playing around with it, I never adjusted it. The reason being is because I would always have it out to the end of the stopper knot. And so what happened was this. Last week I had both the Latitude Method and the Cruzr XC, and both of those saddles had a bridge. The XC was 34 inches and the Method was 35 inches, and so both of them had a much longer bridge option than the TriAd Bridge. And I noticed this, that when I was hanging in the tree with those saddles, as I spent about 2 to 3 hours with them and I was hanging in the tree, that extra length of the bridge, it made it way more comfortable for me to be able to spin around the tree and take that offside shot. And so I realized then that I like a longer bridge. So what I have done was this. I had some 6mm OpLux that I bought from Double Step off Dano, and I was playing around with making distal hitches and all kinds of different hitches and just messing around with stuff. And so much like the Latitude Method, they utilized the am steel on the hip loops, but then they also utilize the OpLux. And so this is actually a 6mm, which is used right here. Here's a 6mm from Wild Edge. This is their continuous loop that gets turned into a Cruzr knot on their KISS system. And so this holds enough weight. I'm looking at it right here, and it's rated at 4,721 pounds. And so that's plenty for me. And so I took the 6mm OpLux, I tied 2 stopper knots like so. I still got to put some shrink wrap on that one, 2 stopper knots, and I made this from knot to knot. I made it 40 inches. And so what that does for me now is it gives me more than enough adjustment and able to tighten or lengthen it for any of my shots that I'm going to try to take, or even if I want to sit down more. And so it just gave me more versatility to maneuver around for my weak side shot. Once I get this on, I'll show you what I mean. This right here is $1.29 on doublestep.com a foot. So I don't know, you might talk about $6 or $7 plus shipping, and it installs very, very easy. Watch this the same way. Now I have a detailed video on the installation of the TriAd Bridge. I'll put in the description below. I'm just going to fly through it, and once you get the idea of tying this knot, you'll see how quickly it can be installed. So I'm going to go over the top, begin to wrap back towards me. I'll pull it tight, making the first 2 loops, wrap it 2 more times, pull it tight. That'll give me 4 loops like that. Then I'll come over the top through the middle and I'll pull it. And right there's my first Swabish hitch. Again, the same thing over here. And once you get the concept, watch my video, do it while the saddle's installed, and you can see how easy it is to install. Down over, stopper knot through the middle, pull, it inverts itself, boom, installed. That easy. I don't know what that take me, about 30 seconds for both of it. And so just by playing around with it, it bites just as good as the other am steel. It breaks off just as good as the am steel does. The one thing I don't have knowledge of, if I would use this bridge continually, how the pressure when it sets, how that would break down this OpLux. So that is yet to be determined. But let me show you that weak side shot and what I'm talking about, and why I prefer a longer bridge, or at least to have that option if I wanted to. Let me hook up real quick. Okay, so I'm hooked up now. Tether is generally about that forehead height. Carabiner's right at my nose to my eye height. And this right here for a right-hand shot, this is my weak side. Okay, I'm kind of off kilter, so my back ain't completely to the camera. But with a longer bridge, much easier, it is much easier, I should say, to keep my feet planted the outside of my Tether Predator platform to come back and make an offside shot. And so I noticed that again when I was playing around with the Latitude Method and the Cruzr XC, keeping my carabiner and my conga cinder where I like it. With ease, I was able to put a foot on the outside of my platform and come around the tree. So it has to do with the way I'm leaning, but also with the extra length here of the bridge, an extra 10 inches. So in case you're like me, and not everybody is, my hunting buddy, two of my hunting buddies prefer a smaller bridge. And so, but if you do want a larger bridge, a longer bridge gives you a little bit more option. For a couple bucks, there's a project that you can do and extend your bridge. Hey, thanks for watching and good luck this season.